professionals and greetings from the Institute of Global Professionals. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable knowledge seekers, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Ananya and I'm from Bangladesh. Dear knowledge seekers, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and ISO certified and international educational and training institute. In the last 3 years, we have already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus professions and 4,500 plus organizations. Institute of Global Professionals is the training facility for skill development which was founded in 2020 and is generating competent candidates to meet demand in the global labor market by providing professional qualifications. The Institute of Global Professionals is an educational institute that provides social work globally, recognized and reputable. We serve students and community resources providing holistic social work and education. We believe that it's not effective to increase one's skill just by curing formal education. So, we provide effective training and consultation to generate proficient generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, and internationally to students, job seekers, job holders, and also for learners through respective campus locations and distance learning platforms. We are an occupational and dependable institution. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education isn't a business product, it's a part of our humanity rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminars, courses, award, quiz competitions, mentoring and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like creating our portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivational letter, and world knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge, which can upgrade all day. Kids learning, game website, free courses, converter sites, and many more. We help to empower youth to learn to meet their expectation and dream and become highly skilled people. We implemented several training program, webinar, and web offline online courses for youth and learner by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kinds of youth and to promote the education for their ability and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professionals. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand needs through today's generation and will serve them with good research and practice method. We must have a genuine concern for the learner. We represent more diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective, best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill levels and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable to us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable to us. Thank you. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we have already completed 2,231 webinars successfully. Moving to the next, with your continuous support, we have already completed 2,231 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participants, and well-wishers, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We changed and designed our website www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprises for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can all find all our previous activities together with lot of new features. But one strong point is that without an account or logged in, you can't enjoy our services. So create your account for once with your proper information. Note that with your proper information, you will enjoy all feature. With mismatches data, you can do anything here. From now on, you have to participate in live quiz competition in our website. We replaced Slido. you have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified e-certificates. Now it's easier and time oriented because after this session, we will not provide you with any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam, but that if you passed, you will receive your certificate, otherwise not. But you can take part in exam unlimited till you pass. If you are an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificates, speakership certificate. If you are a host of IGP, you can download your certificate of gratitude. If you are an online quiz competition winner, you can download your certificate of participation. If you are selected for a lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participated in any award function which organized combined support with IGP, you can download that also. You can instantly prepare and download 18 type of instant certificate from our website within a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influencer during the pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activist and during the pandemic, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2020, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2021, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Campaign 2022. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1 Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2 Teaching and English as a Foreign Language and Assessment. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3 Digital Classroom Engagement and Tools. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 4 That New Trends and Education. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5 Upskilling Organizational Leadership and Managerial Skills. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6 Trends and Innovation in Mathematics Education. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7 Research a Comprehensive Approach. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8 Art in Teaching a Special Program in the Arts. Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9 21st Century Tools in the Teaching Mathematics. Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador. Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1000 plus international level quizzes with verified e-certificate. Teaching tips for teachers, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, gamification tools for teachers, and you can join IGP Alumni. You can check out our 50 plus premium services website for free and many more. Dear IGP well wisher, we promised previously, but lack of our technical issue, we are late sending you on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous credential. We solved all issue from our website. Now you can enroll, reset password, everything. You can check your dashboard for all webinar details. It's a cordial request to you. Check all buttons and pages on our website. Surely I can say you will be benefited. Thank you, but note that without an account or logged in, you can't enjoy our services. Today, at present, we are going to start our 2230 program. Name is Agri Drone for Weed Detection and Control. So now is very important moment for me to invite our speaker to IGP with his presentation. Hello, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm absolutely fine. Excited to have a new webinar. Can I
Okay,
start?
sure, sir. On behalf of IGP Knowledge Seekers, wants to hear from you about you, sir. Now the stage is yours, sir. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the participants in IGP webinar. And I'll be taking you through a journey of agri drones, mostly the drones that are used in the agricultural fields for primarily weed detection and control, but we can have a separate seminar also on pest detection and control as well. So myself, Dr. Shobhik Ganguly, I am serving as an assistant professor in the Department of Electrical and Instrumentation Engineering at Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala. So I'll be taking you through a very short journey, and we'll be highlighting on the main features of agri-drone and how we can use these agricultural drones in order to remove the weeds that are there, how we can spray some herbicides, something of that sort, from the drones itself, so that we can eliminate out the. So the purpose is both detection as well as control, how to control the weeds that are growing in the agricultural fields and that are destroying your agricultural practices. So, time and again, we had been talking in our developing countries or developed countries. We had been talking for precision agriculture, which is a common nomenclature for the different developing and the developed countries, where people are making use of drones for looking after their fields, or how we can manage our crop as well, how we can increase the efficiency, how we can reduce the waste, and at the same time improve the yield of the crop. So there are several advantages leading to the modern farming techniques that are being applied in the developing and the developed countries. So first of all, we can have some problem of labor shortage, which can be eliminated, and we can increase our sustainability. We can increase our profits, because if the yield is more, the waste is reduced. If the efficiency of using the drones or efficiency of the agriculture is being precisely maintained, so we can obviously increase the profit as well. So these are the basic advantages by virtue of which we can think of that we should make it a regular practice for providing some access to the farmers, or providing educating our farmers, so that they are able to practice and they are able to use this particular technology, so that we are in well advance be aware of that how are our fields being infected by either pest or weeds, which is a normal tendency in different crop fields. Obviously, we are trying to address some issues, or trying to make you familiar with some of the drone technology that are already in practice. What are the different sensors that are being used in the process, and in that way, we can think of discussing some of the practices which are already there in some of the countries, and how we can go on to improve it further, and what are the key points, what are the key takeaways from this particular webinar of mine. So, talking about the drones, we are talking about some of the unmanned aerial vehicles equipped with some sensors, some cameras, or even some spray guns as well. They are normally capable of flying autonomously, or they can also be controlled manually as well. So there are both ways. It is possible to fly them autonomously, or we can also use a remote control to make it fly. Mostly, the advantage of using these drones in the agricultural fields are uh, manifold, but most importantly, to get an aerial image, high resolution aerial image, for which cameras are being a part of the drone system. Apart from that, we can have a data collection or rapid data collection of about the different crops that are being uh, uh, going on in the different agricultural fields. When we are taking the pictures, obviously we have to have some form of analysis, some image processing analysis are a part of this particular study as well. And sometimes it is also we are not able to track in some difficult terrains, like nearby mountain areas, or some plateau or something, some in some heights we may be facing some problem where drones can be of good use to us. So these are the basic advantages by virtue of which so we are making use of some resolution cameras for taking some aerial photographs. We are having a rapid data collection and their corresponding analysis, which is being carried out by the drones through these images. And of course, once it is difficult, say for example, I need to explore a tea garden, which is at a difficult terrain, and it is not possible always to find out the presence of pests or the presence of herbs in different forms of paste, or even your weeds that are being grown, which are not accessible to the human beings. Of course, we can make use of the technology there itself. So these are the basic advantage by virtue of which we can make use of the drone technology. Now, what are the types of drones, and what are their characteristics, and what type of drones to be used, and what is the expected cost as well, because it involves some cost. So it is also not affordable by the farmers of the developing countries as well sometimes. So This technology can be it has to be supported by some engineers, and farmers in most of the countries, they will be literate people, they will not be able to make use of the drones. So unlike European countries or developed nations, there is hardly any chance that we expect our farmers to be literate enough to operate with the drones. So there are three types of drones. Mostly we talk about fixed wing drones is the first variety, which is expecting to have long flight time. So obviously the flight time is a matter because it has to take several images, several hundreds of images within a short span of time, say around 40, 50 minutes or even less than that. And they has to cover also a large area that has to be where snapshots have to be taken or the photographs have to be taken. So first characteristics is a long flight time, and second characteristics is it has to have a large coverage area. So these two are the characteristics of the fixed wing drones. And then we have the multi-rotor drones, which are having some vertical takeoffs and which are also having some landings as well. And it is maneuverable, so stability issues can be controlled through some remote as well. And there can be a hybrid drone, means the combination of both your fixed wing as well as the multi-rotor features. So taking the benefit of the long flight time or large coverage area, even vertical takeoff and landing, and it is maneuverable as well. So they are normally versatile, they are normally adaptable to different terrains, different environmental conditions, as well as different parts of the farming land. So these are basically the types of the drones which are available in the market, and based on which we can have a selection. And of course, you can find from the three types of drones, and hybrid drones will be the most widely used drone if we can afford of a cost. It roughly in our country, it roughly costs around between 5 to 6 lakhs, but of course, it is not being affordable by any farmers, any farmers working in the field. So of course, it has to be operated by an engineer or operated by some agency, some uh, government organizations, or even some private entities that can invest in the precision agriculture. So, talking about some of the manual methods by virtue of which we can, because our agenda today is weed detection and control, so we'll be mostly talking about how to traditionally look into the weeds being grown in the fields, and what are the factors, and how can we can resolve this weed detection through some images. So there are three or two methods by virtue of which we can use the manual scouting method, which is of course time consuming and also labor intensive as well. So if I have a very wide and covering a large area of the agricultural field, of course it is very difficult to do it manual scouting and find out where there is a weed, where there is a presence of weed in the agricultural land, and accordingly we can take the measures. So it is of course difficult, labor intensive, as well as time consuming for us to look for manual scouting. Apart from that, we are having some images from the satellites, which we can have from different satellite images. We can capture that there is a presence of weed in certain agricultural lands or certain broad areas, but those are not having some good resolution, so that it can be easily be weed detection can be controlled as well by use of herbicides as well. And of course, when you are capturing the images through satellites, of course it's a delayed result that we are expecting. There are some certain limitations of these traditional methods. The data quality can be inconsistent, and also they can be limited by weather conditions. That all of a sudden there is a bad weather, there is a cyclone, there is a storm, or something of that sort, so that this manual scouting is never possible always. And of course, the data that we are retrieving from the satellite images may not be having that much of quality, so that analyzing and getting results of the analysis can be troublesome as well. So these are normally the traditional methods. That's why we have tried to understand the benefits that your drone based weed detection can do. So, first of all, talking about the first advantage is efficiency, because there is a rapid collection of data over a large area, and of course, it is devoid of labor. So, mostly the labor intensive part is not applicable over here. When we are talking about accuracy, as we have talked about traditional methods where the satellite images are only some source of information for analyzing that whether there is a presence of weed or not. Of course, we can talk about high resolution cameras, or we can fit in some high resolution cameras for us to work upon. And we can also do a precise mapping of the weeds that have been developed in an agricultural field as well. So accuracy and precision, or accuracy and efficiency, are the major. Apart from that, there is, although we are talking it to be cost effectiveness, but of course the drone technology itself is costing some few lakhs. In terms of manual labor, this can further be reduced, and we can optimize the use of herbicides to control this development of weeds in the agricultural field. In that sense, we can call it to be cost effective, but otherwise the drone itself is costing, because it has to involve some sensors, it has to involve some cameras, or especially the high resolution cameras that are involved. Apart from that, let me talk about some of the sensors that are coming along with these agricultural drones or agri drones. Mostly we talk about multi-spectral sensors. We are talking about hyperspectral sensors and the RGB cameras, or which we are calling it as the high resolution cameras, which are there. So, multispectral sensors are basically capturing some specific wavelengths. So, these multispectral sensors are particularly useful for analyzing the vegetation that we are having. So, basically, having the information about the vegetation or analyzing the vegetation that is there, it helps us to get a detailed analysis for that. Hyperspectral sensors, they also capture some hundreds of wavelength bands. So obviously it gives further more detailed spectral information regarding the vegetation. So it is slightly better in comparison to the multispectral sensors that are being used. Apart from that, we have the cameras, or the high resolution cameras. So these are basically used to detect or spot out several images of the vegetation that we are having, and based on which it is further being used for analyzing purpose. Now, how this imaging works. So let us try to understand that how we can make some comparison, and try to identify the merits and the demerits associated. So in case of a spectral imaging, multispectral imaging technique, we are actually capturing the data with respect to some specific wavelength. Accordingly, this particular sensors are going to identify the vegetation health, as well as whether there is a presence of any weed or not. So this is the basic purpose of a multispectral image, or a multispectral sensor that is being used. Hyperspectral will give you a continuous spectral data. So it is primarily used for distinguishing similar plant species, basically to differentiate between an affected plant or a normal plant. So mostly for general weed detection purpose, we can go in for multispectral sensors. But if we require any detailed specification of a particular species of plant species, so definitely we are going for hyperspectral imaging purpose. So it depends upon absolutely upon the type of application that we want to find out. Apart from that, when we are talking about image processing, so first stage was data collection. So we are to capture this particular data through some high resolution cameras, and which we call as RGB cameras. And using the drones which are equipped with this particular type of sensors or cameras or something of that sort, we are able to collect the data. Then the next process is how we can make use of different image processing algorithms to identify several weed species, because there can be several varieties of weeds available. So we are to analyze that particular vegetation health and try to identify that what are the weed species that are there in a particular field or a particular agricultural land. Apart from that, there is a GIS integration where there is a mapping of the weed distribution, and also accordingly what kind of intervention that we are thinking of that can be planned. So our objective was to develop a particular drone technology that can cater both not only capturing imaging and analyzing the image, and at the same time we can make use of some spray gun to spray some herbicides to the different weed species as well. So how we can carry out the real-time monitoring, and how we can think about transmitting the data to your precision or for interventions of the for of the farmers. So basically, we are having a continuous monitoring during the flight time of the drones. Normally, 30-40 minutes is good enough to cover a appreciable land, and at the same time covering any difficult terrain associated, or even we have to work upon improving the battery life of the agricultural drone as well. So we have to think about some alternative solutions by which the flight time can be increased further. So there is an immediate data being available from the real-time data collection. After that, we need to have a wireless data transmission. So there are two possibilities in this way. One is by virtue of internet, we can transmit that particular data to the ground station, or some agricultural scientists, those we are responsible for some decision making purpose. So can we send them through some online communication. So basically, it is a wireless communication. It can be through internet or through a LoRa communication module. So LoRa communication module is basically used for a long distance transmission within 15 to 20 kilometers range, and we are expecting that it can transmit that particular data without the use of internet. So sometimes it can be a problematic area, because when your ground station is far off, how will you transmit that particular data, and if the internet speed is not good enough at a particular rural field, so it will of course difficult for us to send it beyond that particular transmit that information to the ground stations as well. Now, what is the benefit of sending it real time, and how can we monitor it in real time? Because once you send it to the ground stations, of course, there are immediate data analyzing algorithms that can be fitted in the ground station, and some responses regarding to the weed issues can be generated. And based on the amount of weeds or amount of plants that are infected by the weeds, we can immediately intervene, and we can immediately spray some herbicides to it, so that they can fight and try to keep the crop healthy as well. Now, this is the exact process of giving an overview that how we can spray it, or apply the herbicides precisely where it is needed. So this is the basic purpose of this particular webinar as well. How to minimize our chemical usage. Normally what happens if you are spraying it manually, or using some other techniques, conventional techniques or traditional methods, it is quite expected that we are making use of more and more herbicides beyond our necessity. But this has to be calculated, or this has to be optimized, so that less chemical usage can take place, so that the healthy plants are not infected, or healthy plants, there is some modification of the crops as well that can take place. So genetically modification is not possible. Apart from that, we can also optimize our herbicide efficiency as well by adjusting certain application rates based on the density of the weed as well. So there is a valuable rate technology by virtue of which we can optimize the efficiency of the herbicide, that how it can be there. And of course we can control it automatically, so there is an automatic navigation after using the drone technology, or automatic flight paths are being defined, and based on which we can target precisely and the application, and immediately spray the herbicide to the plants, to the infected plants, so that the weeds are being destroyed immediately. So with the use of an optimized plan, we can easily control the weeds. So this is the next part of our webinar, where we are trying to talk about how to control. First of all was how to detect. For detection, there was some satellite images, there are some sensors, there are some cameras which were there, and now is the part which comes to how we can precisely spray and control the weed. So we can, of course, with the precision agriculture in place, we can easily target the herbicide application. So we can identify the weed locations. We can apply the herbicides to only the infected part, and thereby reducing the chemical stress on the healthy crop. So basically, we are actually increasing the overall health of the crop, or whatever was healthy, that is not being disturbed at all through the use of some chemicals. Apart from that, when we are talking about reducing the chemical usage, or optimizing the chemical usage, we are actually having some impact on the environment as well. So it reduces the chemical runoff, and also the environmental contamination is also being minimized. So these are the basic advantages, that by virtue of which we can control the use of herbicides or use of chemicals in optimized fashion, so that our infected areas are sprayed and the healthy plants remain free, and identifying that particular location for which we require to spray. So spray gun is the main characteristics of this particular invention that we are talking about today. Let us talk about two case studies that we have taken out today. One from California, that is a US. So it's a developed nation. So obviously they are making use of the precision agriculture in their crops, and they are using large scale agricultural technique with diverse crops as well. And they are making use of the multispectral drones for their weed detection, and also they are having some precise application of the herbicides. So what they have found, what is the basic idea behind discussing all these things, that how they can able to increase the crop yield, or how they are able to minimize their herbicide uses or chemical usage. So basically it happens that for this particular case study that we have taken up, we have almost reduced the use of herbicides to an extent of 30%, and we have been making use of crop health or yield rate that has been increased profoundly by almost one fifth or 20%. So this is how it works. So we can think of in our developing countries, we can think of this type of precision technology, this type of agricultural scientists. Another background that I am talking about is there are extensive farmlands with weed infestation issues. So this is the basic background of this particular case study carried out in Australia. And what is the implementation? Implementation is to integrate your drone with the existing farm management system. So basically you are making use of the sensors and the cameras in the drone system, and of course restricting the real-time monitoring, and also targeting the spraying system as well. So basically there is a significant reduction in the labor cost, as well as there is an improved weed management also. So these two are the case studies that we thought that we should share with you, because mostly they talk about the crop yield, how much is the increase in the crop yield, how much is the labor cost being minimized, how is the weed management taking place, how we can reduce the use of chemicals or optimize the use of chemicals in order to spray those weeds as well as to control them as well. Now, talking about cost benefit analysis, of course, there is a cost involved of the drones and the different sensors and the cameras that are being a part of the system. So it also involves some adequate training to the ground station personnel as well as to the farmers at the same time. And there are some setup costs as well involved. So this is a basic initial investment we can think of in few lakhs of rupees, but mostly it also involves some maintenance as well. It involves some data processing and their analysis as well. So operator must also be there, a knowledgeable operator or a scientific operator must also be there to analyze that particular data in real time, and at the same time providing some maintenance, or they are helping the crops to be getting infected from the weeds. Long term benefits, of course, the crop yield will be more. There will be a good quality crop that it will produce, and also the less use of chemicals and less use of labor as well. Now, what are the technical challenges associated with this particular drone technology in the agricultural fields? First of all, we'll talk about the sensor calibration. So, for ensuring accurate data, for ensuring appropriate image collection, so we require some regular maintenance and also updates, as well as calibrating your sensors that are being used. Mostly, we talked about three types of sensors today. We have talked about multispectral, we have talked about the cameras, and these type of sensors are normally the sensors that are being used. So of course, when we are talking about such type of sensors, we have to look into their regular maintenance, regular updates, as well as their calibration for ensuring accurate data collection as well, because everything will depend upon the data collection as well as their processing. So how is this data is being processed? They mostly involve some uh, large data sets. Of course, it is a huge collection of data, so obviously big data comes into play, and how to analyze that big data using the image processing tools, image processing techniques. So that is another important challenge. There are some weather hazards, there are some environmental factors that can be definitely having impact on. Suppose we have a cyclone, we have a storm or something of that sort. Of course, at that particular period of time we cannot operate the drone. So of course, there may be huge amount of rain taking place in some northeastern part of India. So over there, the data quality may be affected due to the weather conditions as well. So we have to uh, overcome these type of challenges. One is associated with calibrating your sensor, the how to process the data, and what is the capability of that software or algorithm that we are making use of, because it involves a huge set of data. And of course, there are weather conditions, there are environmental conditions due to which your drone can get affected, or your data quality can be poor as well. Now, there are certain regulatory concerns as well, regulatory considerations, we can say. When we are flying any object, so there has to be some aviation norms or aviation regulations as well. So there are certain local laws or national level laws, there are some international level laws. So we have to ensure a safe operation, and at the same time we have to have an operations which is legal in nature, so that we cannot invade into the other person's field or other country's field, and take some images. So that comes under the legal preview as well. So apart from that, there are some licensing requirements. There are some permissions that has to be taken for using the use of drones in our agricultural lands, and there has to be some training for the operators. There has to be some certifications for the operators to be successfully making use of the images that are being captured, analyzing those images, and finally running the drones as well. There are some safety issues as well, so we have to ensure the safety measures that are there, and mitigating any risk associated with the drone operations as well. So these type of things can take place. Talking about these type of regulatory considerations will be a part associated as well when we are making use of these type of drones uh, in our technologies. Some ethical issues will be associated because we are dealing with herbicides, how to make use of less and less chemical usage, how to make our farming practices more and more sustainable. We have to associate when we are using the drone technologies has to involve some data, and their data securities must be there. So there should not be any possibility of a cyber attack or something of that sort. So the cyber security issues are also have to be taken care of. We have to be responsibly make use of the advanced technology. Say for example, I cannot travel to my neighbor's field and take a picture of their activities or their concerns or their weeds or something of that sort. So of course some privacy concerns are there, some data security issues are there. Farmer information has to be protected by some policies. These type of things will definitely come into place as we are moving on to for sustainable or even your precision agriculture as well. When we are talking about developing technology or talking about sustainable agriculture or smart agriculture, something of that sort, AI has to play a major role. So, artificial intelligence and machine learning will be a part of the system in detecting your weed species, in creating some accuracy or efficiency of the images that are collected and analyzing it. So, we have to have some historical data as well, some predicting some future weed growth patterns can also be part of the machine learning system for data analysis, as well as some predictive and analytic methods for forecasting some outbreak of the different weeds, or having some proactive interventions as well. So of course integration of artificial intelligence and machine learning will be a part of our drone technology as well. So, what are the advantages that are taking place? We are trying to increase upon working upon the increasing the flight time so that we can cover a major area and cover complete detection of the crops, or whether there is any weed being present in the field. We have to increase our high resolution cameras, so that we have to have some high resolution images as well. So the weed detection as well as their control must be precise as well. Apart from that, we are thinking of not having a manual control but an autonomous flight control. So it should be a fully operated operation. So these are the advancements which are taking place, of course, and reduced will be the need for the manual control. So manual interventions will be least. Otherwise, what's the use of what's the fun of using a technology? When we are talking about the future trends, we are increasing gradually the adoption of drones, growing acceptance for farmers. Of course, the farmers are going to use it, so they have to be educated. Different agriculture sectors can be taken care of. Different types of crops, different types of fruits, whatever we call it. And when we are integrating with other technologies, we can combine the drones with some IoT based sensors or something of that sort, manage a huge amount of data for comprehensive farm management as well. So there can be some other technological developments as well, in terms of precision, in terms of accuracy, in terms of efficiency as well. And we can also have a good impact using this particular drone technology for weed detection and control. We can have a global impact on the food production as well. Challenges in scaling up the things. So building a necessary support or infrastructure, creating a database management system to store this historical data, training your operators or analysts or something of that sort. We can also have a skilled workforce as well for analyzing your data, or make use of IoTs, make use of AI and ML. So some initial investments are there, and of course try to make out of it that cost effective solution for the farmers as well. Some important points that we thought that we should discuss about recapping what we have discussed so far. We are trying to increase the efficiency and accuracy in the weed detection. We are trying to minimize the cost, and also minimize the environmental impact of this use of with reduced use of chemicals. As well as we have talked about some real success stories with respect to the agri drones in weed detection and control. As well as we can also make use of improvements in yield, improvement in the cost as well. These type of things are there. Of course, we have a very promising future for drone technology, which are primarily being used for detecting the waste, or detecting the pest in the agricultural fields to increase the crop yield. And there is always an innovation, always an adoption taking place in the field of drone technology as well. So finally, what we have discussed and what are the conclusions? We have talked about the essential tool for modern farming practices, or what we call as the precision agriculture, and which is basically the foundation for developing some sustainable and effective agricultural technique. And final thoughts: we have to embrace technology. We have to educate our farmers. We have to make our farmers tech savvy as well, and how to make use of it in how to establish some wireless transmission of data to the different ground stations, and how we can revolutionize our farming practices with the help of using some drone technology. So that's all from my side. I think we are expecting some interesting questions at the end of this particular webinar, so that I'll be happy to answer. So with this, we wind up today's session. Mostly, we talked about the use of drone technology in agri industries, or agri-based products, in order to reduce or minimize the use of chemicals for detecting as well as controlling the weeds. So that's all from my side. Over to IGP for any questions, any queries from the audience. Please. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for your rich content presentation, which can impact our knowledge seekers surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seekers can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP Knowledge Seeker. Once again, thank you so much, dear sir, for your presentation. Now, sir, it's time for our questionnaire session, which is the most important part and valuable part of our regular webinars. Honorable sir, please stay with us. After a short video, we will back in our session part 2, which is the questionnaire part. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After questionnaire, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After questionnaire, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After questionnaire, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After questionnaire, we have webinar certification and online quiz competition. Once again, thank you so much, Honorable Sir, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topics. It will add some value to our day to day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable Sir, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new day. Thank you, sir. Take care. Honorable Sir, before we move to the next webinar certification process, if you want to leave this studio, you can, sir. IGP Knowledge Seeker is time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. IGP Knowledge Seeker is time for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. So the certification instruction is visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find your running session and get enrolled. After watching or completing part 1 video session, click mark as complete. Move to the next, which is the learning test quiz. Please passing mark is 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed, to retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. For your attention, I am going to share the procedure again. Certification instruction is visit www.eduigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website, sign up or sign in. Find a running session and get enrolled. After watching or completing part 1 video session, click mark as complete. Move to the next, which is the learning test quiz. Passing mark is 80%. If passed, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed, to retake the quiz. Download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP Knowledge Seekers, it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is our regular webinar activity. We changed a few process for online live quiz competition. Note that after live, one can participate. Participation process is now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Visit www.eduigp.com and sign up or sign in. Without this, you can't join live quiz competition anymore. Browse the live quizzes button or given button. Find the session name and join your locked website or user account. Click join and wait for a few minutes and others to join. Enjoy an online live quiz competition. After the quiz, we will issue certificate for the top 10 as previously, which you can find on our website and official Facebook page. Institute of Global Professionals. After a short video, we will start our quiz session.
করো এখান থেকে দেখো। With 17 people, we are going to start our quiz session right now. First question is, the agri-food chain consists of, is it option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is the right answer. 33% people are right here. Second question is, the agri-food chain outlined that, is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Third question is, agree means, is it option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Next question is, the team agree means, is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 77% people are right. Our next question is, the highest dash in Turkey is in Agri. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is the right answer. 94% people are right. Our next question is, the most significant product in the agri-food chain are, is it option 1 or option 2? না এটা আছে তো সবুজটাকে ফোন করতে পারো ওর ফোন করতে দেখো কোথায় কার বাবার আমি 10,000 টাকা দিয়ে দেখতেছি ইকো প্লাস দেখতেছি 10,000 টাকা দিয়ে option 2 is the right answer. 14% people are right. Our next question is, dash is the longest river and dash mount agree in the highest mountain in Turkey. Is it option 1 or option 2? Next question. is the right answer? 93% people are right here. Second last question of the session is dash degree is the highest point in Turkey. Is it option 1 or option 2? পরীক্ষা কোনটা রাখবো বন্ধ করো না যে ইনভেস্টমেন্টের ম্যাথ আছে ইংলিশে না ইংলিশ আমি পড়তে ইংলিশে ছিল তো সাবজেক্ট একটা না দুটো ওর ফোন একটা দিয়ে দেখো তো আচ্ছা যেখান থেকে দিছো হলো option 2 is the right answer. 100% people are right. Our last and final question of the session is the agri food change relays on. Is it option 1 or option 2? আমার আইডিয়া নেই রে ভাই option 2 is the right answer. 100% people are right here. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalize the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professionals. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalize the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professionals. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalize the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning, cause life members to teaching us. Be happy to save. See you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to go to the people of things, Albert Einstein. Before I shall hit the button, I will also thank all IGP knowledge seekers for active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.